Deactivating active camouflage. Sorry, I wasn't able to help you at the excavation site. To be honest, I'm not sure if my functions, my skills, are at full capacity. It takes a huge amount of RK to maintain the Kuiper retroreflective active camouflage. It feels like my prosthesis and I are both slowly reaching our limits. But if the Ironheart is within our reach, I have to give it my all, even if it breaks me. The guide said that Ironheart particles are the fundamental clues we need to track it. They're kind of like footprints that the Ironheart leaves behind, wherever it goes. I've compared the location of these footprints to the recon intel. We should find more conclusive data as we continue to follow the traces. I'll send the details of the zone you'll need to cover to your receive. The remaining zones will be covered by Colon operatives.
The Vulgus munitions factory. It truly is an ominous and horrifying place.
Can you feel that?
I can experience a variety of sensations through the archy of Descendants, including the phantom pain you feel.
That's for me to deal with, Guide. Don't poke your nose in where it's not wanted. Once I've dealt with my personal target, then I'll ask you to remove the pain.
You refer to the Vulgus you were pursuing.
Descendant, this is a Vulgus logistics facility where raw materials and products needed for the munitions factory are distributed. As this is where the Ironheart particles were detected, we may find a lead in their distribution records. If you can connect your receive to a terminal, I'll try hacking into the distribution records. Activity discovered. A large volume of construction materials have been relocated from here to a suspect zone. At the same time, secret supplies have been transported from there back to here. This is definitely suspicious. I'll send this info to Sharon.
This wastewater is composed of Kuiper extracts and Vulgus electrolytes. The Ironheart particles are most likely bound between those two substances. That's why they were detected intact and not dispersed.
If we can find the source of that wastewater, we could trace them more accurately. I have a place in mind. HQ, While investigating traces of the Ironheart, we've discovered a zone in the factory area that looks to have been recently expanded. Considering the circumstances, I think it's highly likely that there's an Ironheart inside. Requesting approval for further investigation.
Approval granted, but proceed with extreme caution. A large assault ship has been spotted in the airspace above the area. Based on the ship's class, we think it's the same one that we saw Carell aboard. Either he's there in person, or something worthy of his attention is happening. We should be prepared for a challenging situation. We may need to deploy more Descendants. Over and out.
Sharon, do we have any tactical weapons that are capable of destroying the entire Vulgus industrial area? If the Ironheart is here, we may be able to investigate after destroying the enemy's facilities.
It's an interesting idea, Guide. But if it were possible, we would have already done it. Unfortunately, we don't have the capabilities to create such a powerful weapon. The anti-air gun in the Albion mountain range is probably our heaviest hitter. That's why the Descendants and the Ironheart are humanity's last hope. Closing the dimensional wall to isolate ingress from the Colossi and the Vulgus. That would be the ultimate tactical weapon. Anyway, we don't have time to chat. Let's head to the restricted zone.
Descendant, I can detect both Ironheart particles and its pulse in this zone. It keeps moving. If you and Sharon can widen the range of Arche, I can obtain more accurate information. Please help me. Also, my system has been more inconvenienced than I expected. I believe that once it was restored, I would be able to locate the Ironhearts wherever they may be in Ingress. However, it may be that my system has yet to be completely restored. As I was created for the Ironheart, I assumed my performance would not be this lackluster. In order to achieve my goal, our goal, my performance will need to improve.
Let's think about that later, if we make it out alive. If the Vulgus have a large assault ship, they'll soon be pouring into this place. Number 17 and I will operate in stealth mode. You stay sharp.
Descendant, I have found a suitable location for detecting Ironheart pulses. This is a large nuclear reactor, which is connected to this entire zone. By comparing the reactor's pulses with the Vulgus biosignals, I can detect pulses from a wide area. Ironheart pulses. I'll attempt to trace that location. Descendant, I have found a suitable location for detecting Ironheart pulses. This is a large nuclear reactor, which is connected to this entire zone. By comparing the reactor's pulses with the Vulgus biosignals, I can detect pulses from a wide area. Up until it was deactivated, I could detect Ironheart pulses. I'll attempt to trace that location.
This is believed to be a Vulgus bioengineering facility. Remember the wastewater treatment plant where we found Ironheart particles? The wastewater pipes there connect to this facility. We can figure out what these bastards have been up to when we take a look around. Look for a Vulgus terminal to access it.
Careful, Descendant. I've identified multiple Vulgus signals inside the facility. Expect random hostile encounters.
Too late. All experimental data has been deleted.
Not all of it. There's a cache of records about the most recent experiments. It's not ideal, but I'll try to restore it as best I can.
In the meantime, you and I might as well follow the Ironheart particles.
Loading.
There are Ironheart particles and faint traces of energy everywhere. Judging by these traces, the energy extracted from the Ironheart was injected into the Vulgus submerged in a Kuiper solution. The Vulgus genes and Kuiper must have fused as a result. The pain would have been terrible. Having in the Vulgus solution.
That's why there were Ironheart particles in the wastewater. He died. One of the experiments was resumed. Did one of them survive?
The chances of are close to 0%, but I cannot be sure. Descendant, I have pinpointed the location where all of the Ironheart traces converge. It is hidden within the facility of the Legion of Immortality. I can detect a continuous Ironheart pulse and particles, as well as a small amount of energy from this place, and they seem to be moving. I recommend we investigate this place, Descendant. I'll need you to lend me your strength.
Sharon, I will stay behind and retrieve the cache of Vulgus experiment records. I'm sure they'll contain valuable information.
I'll enter the inner facility first. Join me when you're ready. Most of the main passageways are now either blocked or destroyed. It appears the enemy intends to destroy the entire facility. Air vents, drainage pipes, maintenance ducts. Use any available alternative means of escape when you can.
Sharon, I've restored some of the data from the Vulgus experiment records. According to these records, the facility you're in is a private laboratory of General Amon of the Legion of Immortality. As it was Ironheart traces which led us to this place, Corell and Amon might actually be there.
It won't be an easy fight if they are.
Sharon,
Awaiting your transmission.
the traces of the Ironheart. Here. There. Never mind. I will let you know after I've performed further analysis.
Okay, Guide. Synchronize the alarms with the nuclear reactor's self-destruct switch. What the hell are they thinking? They'd rather take everyone and everything with them than give up the Ironheart. I can modify the circuitry, find the alarms and destroy them. Alarms disabled. Strange. I'm sure they wouldn't dare do something like that if Corell and Amon were actually here. For now, we need to stabilize the deactivated reactor, turn on the coolers. I'll continue tracking the Ironheart traces.
All units transmitting critical operation details. From the restored Vulgus experiment records, I've reconstructed an audio recording that seems to have been made during the time of the experiments. Listen.
The Legion will become greater through the Ironheart. Rise, my warriors! Give your lives for... vanguard for me. Albion. I will stand at the vanguard of the Legion. Albion submits to Lord Karel's command. The Iron Heart. Initiate the data insertion.
It cannot be. Then these Ironheart traces are...
Albion.
Seems I was thorough. Lord Karel said he would come. I am to bring him your gift. I'll be waiting, Descendant.
Damn it! So the Ironheart's already gone then?
So this is why the traces felt displaced. Descendant, in order to increase the accuracy of our pursuit, we need to access all the data on Vulgus units who were transformed using the Ironheart. You must defeat Alzarok. Sharon, will you relay a detailed report of this to HQ?
Will do. I'll be on my way. Good hunting.
Karel, do you truly plan on inverting the Ironheart data? If you do that, we won't be able to decipher the unidentified guide code.
Enough! The Ironheart data must be inverted in order to destroy the dimensional wall. I don't have time to think about that! You understand my vision now, don't you?
Oh, of course. I am only thinking of our research.
I'm glad to hear that our objectives are aligned. Initiate the data inversion. The path will engulf increase. The roars of the Vulgus will fill this land with fear.
Descendant, I have the results of the operation from Sharon. Alpha is tied up with an emergency meeting with the Magisters. I have been ordered to brief you on the follow-up operation. Please make your way to HQ.
Humanity is very weak. That's why humans need us so desperately. Magisters are probably humanity's real home, don't you think?
Welcome to the Modules Lab. Welcome. You're here for modules, right?
Excellent work, Descendant. This operation has yielded many results, both positive and negative. Firstly, all of HQ is encouraged by the possibilities presented by the guide. Although we were unsuccessful in our retrieval of the Ironheart, thanks to the guide's tracking function, we uncovered the Vulgus Restricted Zone and Alzarok. This proves the guide's tracking system exists and is operational. However, the ingenuity that the Vulgus demonstrated with their use of the Ironheart was alarming. So much so that the Magisters requested an emergency meeting with Alpha. In particular, the inversion of the Ironheart ordered by Corral is something we must understand, no matter the cost. From this point forward, HQ plans to adopt the guide's tracking functionality and the various other information sources they offer as official operational elements. The Descendants will soon be deployed throughout Ingress. Use the guide to track the Ironheart and proceed with the mission to investigate the inversion procedure. Humanity's full-scale counterattack has officially begun. However, I know you have just completed a difficult mission. Until the official deployment order is given, please go ahead with whatever preparations you need to make. The Magisters have promised their full commitment to support research efforts, so this is the perfect opportunity to request anything you need from an ace. Before you go, Descendant, I have a personal request. Can you retrieve the Alzarok autopsy report from Jeremy? The report was intended for delivery to the Magisters. Jeremy requested a brief look at it, and I haven't heard from him since. I understand things are strained between you and Jeremy due to the recent operation, but I hope you'll do this anyway. Descendant, just in case, I hope you're not disappointed that Jeremy wasn't punished. I actually saw Alpha slap Jeremy earlier. No one enjoys seeing their superior do something like that, but I believe it was a more appropriate punishment than a court-martial. I'm sure that Jeremy has also learned his lesson.
What the? You're still alive? I was just reading the report on Alzarok and thinking, wouldn't it be great if he, killed you? Anyway, looks like he got to experience something interesting at least. A Vulgus redesigned by the Ironheart. Wow. Now, that's an area that fascinates me. If I knew you'd be seeing that, I would have stuck with the operation instead of dropping out. And I wouldn't have been slapped by Alpha. Anyway, why are you here? I'm in a bad enough mood already after Sharon and her minion drop by to give me a piece of their minds? What? Nell wants the report? Ah, so you're her gopher. You really are something. You can take it and buzz off. You probably don't have time to argue with me anyway. Sharon mentioned earlier that the guide isn't in the best shape. All these so-called grown-ups having fun with their imaginary friend. Oh, get lost! You're annoying me!
Descendant, something has altered the properties of the Ironheart I was connected to. As soon as we returned to Albion, I leapt between the arcade of different Descendants in order to find Ironheart traces. I discovered traces in the desert and forest areas, and at that moment, I felt great pain. In human terms, it felt like my skin was peeling off and my flesh was melting. Descendant, I suspect this phenomenon is caused by an inversion process. If Corell and Eamon had enough time after moving the Iron Heart, they may have managed to perform it. However, aside from this pain, I was unable to obtain any further information. For the properties of the Iron Heart to change, a tremendous amount of energy would have to be released.
Void dimension link detected. Colossus approaching. I repeat, void dimension link detected. Colossus approaching.
Descendant, a Colossus has appeared. This Colossus, is it merely coincidence? Can this truly be unrelated to the Iron Heart inversion? The ancestors always removed the environmental value of chance from all variables. They believed all things had a cause and an effect. My thoughts are all muddled. It would be best to focus on the Colossus for now, Descendant. As for the inversion, I will investigate.
Classification type, stunning beauty. All descendants in Albion, prepare for an intercept battle.
They're arriving on the daily! And not just any Colossus, but stunning.
Descendants, the Colossi are discerning ingress through an incomprehensible pattern. Although the expected time of arrival for the Colossus is unknown, the fact that a stunning beauty is drawn here alarms me. Stunning beauty is a Colossus which is insensitive to energy. Even during the apocalypse, only a few of them are recorded to have appeared in ingress. But now, suddenly, one is making its way to ingress. This is not a situation to be taken lightly. Descendant, I'll send you to the Void Dimension once you have finished battle preparations. I hope the intercept is successful. I am analyzing the Void Paradox. I am analyzing the Void Paradox. Descendant, you have been successful. We live in uncertain times, but thankfully the skills of the Descendants remain stable and unchanged. Even if using the word stable in our current situation is embarrassingly ironic. The dimensional wall is currently in the worst state it has ever been. Before now, it was almost unheard of for an energy-insensitive Colossus like Stunning Beauty to be able to find its way here. We must find the Iron Heart and connect it to the Prime Hands as soon as possible. Closing the dimensional wall is the only way we can achieve true victory over the Colossi.
I suppose everyone thinks the dimensional wall is the only answer.
Are you saying it isn't?
I cannot say whether it is or not. As we do not have an Iron Heart, nothing can be proven.
You think too much. We should find a heart and prove it then. I'm pretty sure there's one in Vespers. Traces from another Ironheart have been discovered in a forest in Vespers. I've already spoken with HQ. Let's discuss operation strategies. Come with me.
I was wondering who it was. It was you? Sorry, I know you probably wanted some rest after taking out that Colossus. Anyway, like I said over comms, we've discovered Ironheart traces in Vespers. I had business to attend to with the Order of Truth, so I was hunting down some Vulgus there. Suddenly, the guide appeared, claiming she felt the pulse of an Ironheart in the area, and then simultaneously in multiple areas. According to the guide, these multiple signals weren't byproducts of the Ironheart like Alzarok was. Comparing it with the data we have now, there really seems to be a difference. Now, well, it's obvious, isn't it? We have no other choice but to check every single location she's detected. When I came back to HQ to report on my operation, they told me to take reinforcements, and I chose you. Jeremy makes me very uncomfortable. But I have no trouble trusting you. So, you in? I'll take your silence as consent. I knew you'd accept, even if you didn't actually say it. We'll head to the Vespers outpost once you're ready. It'll give Dr. Gley time to join us.
What do you get? If there's something you need, you'll need to pay. What do you get when... What do you get... What do you get when...
Humanity is very weak. That's why humans need us so desperately.
unstable.
Keelan, are you alright?
What's about the Descendant?
Still in void space. Stay where you are until the rendezvous.
I can handle it myself. Let's get this operation going.
Keelan, I need a status report.
I'm searching the interior. This is...
What's happening?
gunfire.
Keelan, the signal is on the move.
I know. Focus, scum. Engaging!
We've lost the Vulgus signals. Keelan has made contact with the target.
HQ, there's been a mistake. It's just an ordinary dog.
The signal is still responsive. It might have something to do with the ship.
No way.
Keelan's archaeometrics are stabilizing.
This dog is not as ordinary as he looks.
Something is jamming our signals. Communications are being...
Keelan, abort! Get out of there now!
HQ, check your comms. HQ! This facility is... Get on with it!
You pathetic vermin! After him. Find him and kill him.
biosignal. Is that a Descendant? You're finally here. Took you long enough. While you were lost in the void, there was an incident which meant the Vulgus jammed our communication with HQ. Unfortunately, I'm in a difficult situation at the moment, and I can't engage. Why did Vulgus here all of a sudden? Damn it! I don't know. I'll try to get the cops back up once you let the Vulgus out. I've got the objective locked down, so I need you to do some of the heavy lifting. Disabling their jamming device. Our comms should be back up soon.
Please respond.
HQ, come in.
Keelan, you're alive. And I can also confirm the Descendants' biosignal. Keelan, your biosignals are unstable.
It's just a scratch.
That's more than a scratch. Keelan, Descendant! I'm glad you're both alive. I was terrified when I heard we lost comms.
Don't worry, I'm fine. And the dog oh, is fine too. This dog, it's like it's reading my thoughts. As if it's connected to my arcade. I thought to myself, stop barking, be quiet. And then it stopped. It's intriguing and cute.
Well, that's a shock. I didn't know you liked dogs.
No small talk during operations, Inez. I like cats too, by the way.
No small talk during operations.
Why you just wait till I get back.
You can see each other shortly. You are to cease operations and return immediately. Keelan, I have your current coordinates. Transferring you to Albion now.
Okay. See you in Albion, Descendant.
Transferring the Descendant next. Wait! Descendant, we have detected communication packets concentrated at a specific point. I apologize, but this data needs to be verified. I will send the target zone to your receive. Report to HQ immediately.
If it's new research, I'm listening.
Descendant, I'm glad you made it back safely. I heard the amount of pressure in the Void Abyss was huge. And yet you still managed to complete the operation. You really are talented. I'd love to have you join our unit. Wouldn't that be great, Keelan?
Sure, they're useful enough. They don't get in the way and they can hold their own. Thanks to you, the mission was a success. You did well, even though you weren't trained for it. Ines, why are you looking at me like that?
Wow! The Void Abyss really is a scary place. It's changed your arcade traits, and now it's even changed your personality. I've never heard you compliment anyone before. Keelan's still in there somewhere, right?
Never mind. Descendant, you should pay HQ a visit. I hear they're preparing a follow-up operation. Ines, I've got to drop by the Magister Research Institute. I'm a little worried about that doggo we rescued.
Wow! I swear that didn't sound like Keelan. I didn't know he liked dogs.
It isn't easy.
you're here. I thought you'd be late. We've got a few things to do. We need to hurry.
What seems to be the problem? We've received operation details. The Ironheart pulse has supposedly been detected in this area, but it's impossible to triangulate since it's dispersed in several directions.
That's correct, Gley. I can feel it clearly, but it's hard for me to pinpoint its exact position. However, I can confirm it is in this zone.
We were deployed here to find one thing, and now we also have to find the Ironheart. We'll have to look under every rock in Vespers.
Freyna and I were sent here to look for a group of Vulgus, who have stolen RK serum from Jaber and some other Descendants. Freyna, Sharon, even I've already had my RK serum stolen by them once. Things will only get worse if we let them take any more of it.
Those bastards. They satisfy their own desires by taking everything we humans have. They have to be stopped.
If the Ironheart is underground, then it makes sense that we're detecting the pulse in multiple locations. Not only is 55% of the surface of Vespers composed of slickenside, but this zone has a high distribution of strange-looking rocks. It's also one of the few zones where there are Ancestors' ruins on the surface, and most of the Ancestors' ruins are built out of slickenside. That's why it's difficult to pinpoint the exact point of origin of the pulses. The characteristics of slickenside make it easier for pulses to pass through it, which means there's a higher probability of pulses being detected simultaneously from multiple directions.
When I analyze the strata, there are spaces that feel empty to me. They are most likely where the Ancestors' ruins can be found. All entrances to these spaces emit pulses of similar intensity. However, you will need to confirm in person whether these places are the correct paths to lead us to the Ironheart.
In that case, we'll need to check all the places detected by the guide. There's no way the Vulgus didn't prepare for this.
All right, let's spread out and find the entrance that leads underground. That'll split the enemy's attention, so it's a good tactical approach as well.
Freyna, I understand there are specialized drones that Albion has created to find the Ironheart.
That's correct. Enzo's sending the drones here shortly.
That is excellent news. Let's begin our search for the Ironheart in earnest.
What do you get when... What do you get when...
May not pose much of a challenge, but another force is inbound. Prepare yourself.
They have guards stationed at the entrance. Even the Vulgus know that there is an Ironheart here. Target spotted. Danger assessment, normal. Defeating this Vulgus will force the enemy to retreat.
Enemy forces within the operation zone have been eliminated. Great job. Challenge, but another force is inbound. Prepare yourself.
They have guards stationed at the entrance. Even the Vulgus know that there is an Ironheart here. Target spotted. Danger assessment, normal. Defeating this Vulgus will force the enemy to retreat.
Enemy forces within the operation zone have been eliminated. Great job.
This is Gley. I've found something. Meet me at the Ruins Outpost. what seems to be the problem? This place has been mentioned in records throughout history. And as the name suggests, these are the ruins. Turns out this is where the greatest recorded number of ancestors gathered. Investigation by the excavation team and analysis by the magisters uncovered records mentioning the breakout of civil war. The ruins are evidence, remnants of this war. We don't yet know why the civil war happened. Albion collapsed as a result of the war, and this is the only surviving record.
Given the Ironheart is here, that may have been a factor behind the outbreak of any civil war. Past or present, the Ironheart definitely has the capability to turn the fate of Ingress upside down. That hasn't changed. There were bound to be conflicts.
This is the first I've heard of this civil war. Vrena's theory is quite interesting. The Ironheart in Ingress. It could be powerful and dangerous enough to turn the fate of everything in existence upside down.
Gley, I know you're a medical doctor. Do you have doctorates in history and geology as well?
I just wanted to be able to explain anything my daughter was curious about. To be the person who could answer any questions she asked.
Sounds like you'll have a lot to talk about once she returns. You must have experienced and learned countless things during the time she's been away.
I have so much to tell her, we'll probably stay up all night. Anyway, we should hurry. Guide, can you do an in-depth analysis of the ruins, please? There must be an entrance somewhere.
Enzo here. I've been able to expand my range to the vicinity of the ruins thanks to the data acquired by the drones and the guide. Transmitting surface analysis information and intel on potential entrances to Aceves.
That's not far from my current position. I'll go.
Gley, I'll go. That's where the bastards from the Order of Truth have settled. I'm the only one who can withstand the toxins they use.
I'll leave it to you then.
HQ will continue to monitor the situation. Should anything happen to Freyna, please report immediately. Guide, just as you said, the Vulgus have realized there is an Ironheart here. A Vulgus battleship has been spotted heading to our current location.
A battleship? Then there can be no doubt that there is an entrance here.
Watch out! Movement on your right flank. Reinforcements spotted. There's too many blind spots. Get to the top of structures and engage them from there. Inbound. Watch out.
Descendant, they aim to prevent you from reaching the entrance. Exercise caution when engaging in combat.
All enemy forces have been eliminated. Excellent job.
Your timing is perfect. I need you to defend the equipment that has been installed. I've identified a biosignal at the back of the facility that seems to be expanding in real time. It could be a pathogen spread by the Order. Neutralizing pathogens becomes a lot easier if we know what we're dealing with. Protect the equipment until we can analyze it.
Kate, please share the analyzed data with me, too.
Of course. See, I can properly assist you now, Gley. Figures are rising. Hang in there just a little longer. Well, they definitely know all the tunnels are connected underground, don't they? At this rate, Descendant, it'll be difficult for the equipment to pick up any useful data.
Operation complete. Kate, don't forget to share the data. This is Gley to HQ in Freyna. The enemy has made the entrance discovered at the ruins currently inaccessible. Freyna, what's the situation on your side?
It's not inaccessible, but I'm worried about how the Order's toxins might affect you.
Looking at Freyna's route, I can detect large quick pulses occurring at the place marked as the entrance.
That means there's a high chance this entrance is connected to the Ancestors' ruins. Let's regroup and go together. Said something? I'm sorry. My thoughts were elsewhere. You're here. It's a good thing I took this side. Neither you nor Gley would have lasted. Let's go find this entrance. Ugh! I thought I crushed the Order. They've just regrouped. They're so horrible and dirty and disgusting. There seems to be no end to them.
Freyna, calm down. Your heart rate is increasing. It could trigger a traumatic episode.
We don't have any sedatives, so if you start having seizures, we'll have to send you back to Albion.
All right, I get it. I'll calm down. Go get your panties in a bunch. It's not enough for me to black out. Hey, Kate, can you hear me?
Huh? Freyna? Yes, I hear you. What's happening? Anything I can help you with?
I overheard your comms with Gley. You're doing something with the fungus, right? If we collect enough fungi, will you be able to make an antidote or antibody that gives us immunity?
Of course. Although it may take some time, it's not impossible.
Great idea. Kate, if you have any questions during production, get in touch right away. And remember to be methodical. You make mistakes when you're rushing.
Gley, that was over 5 years ago. I'm not the same person I was back then.
Our objective is to secure as much fungi as possible. Let's hurry. If we have an antidote or antibodies that give us immunity, the mission will become much easier.
In order to quickly produce immunity antibodies, we need data on the antidote mechanism stored in Albion. After comparing the data we have with Albion's existing data, we can either imitate it or create something similar. But since we need the data to be transferred safely, we need you to protect it.
Bastard's been tapping our communications. If the repeater is destroyed, things are gonna get very difficult for us.
you need to do now is wait. To create immunity antibodies or an antidote, we need to understand the type, structure, and reactive mechanism of the toxin. We'll need tissue samples from the Vulgus. Let's go collect some. I've made an antibody that gives immunity from the Order's most commonly used toxin. But because of time constraints, I haven't been able to conduct any formal clinical trials.
So we're the guinea pigs.
This will be an excellent opportunity, Kate. You'll be able to collect data on the side effects of the antibody on the Descendants.
Some DNA that needs analyzing. Gley, I don't think we should joke about it.
You sound just like Jin. Adorable. Thank you for your hard work. Don't worry, I know how capable you are.
I heard you worked on my arcane neutralizer. I'm sure it'll be effective against the toxin again.
You can trust me. To be honest, I tested it on myself at the clinical trial stage. I'm fine, so as Descendants, you definitely will be.
What did you just say, Kate? That neutralizer was made from the Order's toxin. Do you know how dangerous that was? Do I have to lose you too?
Gley, I'm also part of Albion headquarters. I'm one of many people working for Albion and all of humanity. The Descendants shouldn't be the only ones ready to sacrifice themselves. I'm ready to do my part. Let's help each other.
Lighten up, Gley. Thanks to Kate's efforts, we can continue with the operation.
Gley, this antibody will help you to stay strong for this operation. After all, it will give you immunity, and I've tested it on myself.
Let it go this one time. But never again, you hear me? Okay. Thank you, Kate. Really.
Now that everybody has the antibody, let's go get that Iron Heart. We can't let the Vulgus take this one too.
If everyone is ready, I will lead the way. Let us find the Iron Heart.
Guide, can you sense the waves emitted from the Ironheart?
I can. However, my scans show there is a space deep beneath this area. The energy waves are being dispersed by a metal device installed by the enemy. It will be difficult to determine the exact location of the Ironheart.
Damn it! Not only did they spread their toxins everywhere, they installed this as well.
They most likely intended to use it to transport the Ironheart they found.
Analyzing layout of the ruins. RK covers 40% of the entire area. A point of note, the RK corresponds to a single pattern, unlike the patterns of Descendants. According to the layout analysis results, the location of these readings is identical to that used for tombs and altars. If I compile all of the data we have gathered, there is a high probability that this is the tomb of one of the ancestors who died during the Civil War. The fact that they were laid to rest in such a deep location, either they were an ancestor of a high status, or they played an important role in the incidents related to the Ironheart. I've identified a Vulgus communication frequency being transmitted nearby. It would likely contain information we need. We should investigate. The Ironheart isn't here. The Vulgus came to excavate the remains of the ancestor. They plan to use this to open the ancestor's vault.
I don't understand. The remains of an ancestor or a vault? What do you mean?
If the vault contains an Ironheart, it may have been placed there intentionally to prevent someone from claiming it. The reason the Vulgus have extracted DNA from the remains is likely because the vault can only be accessed through a bioscan.
If that's the case, then the occupant of this tomb is the same individual who locked the vault.
That's correct. They must be planning to use the DNA to allow them to bypass the biometric authentication and claim the Ironheart.
This device interferes with the sieve links. I'll restore the disrupted communications. Noise removal complete. Checking contents. Sender, Enzo. He says the Vulgus have been spotted moving to another zone.
Have they found a way to open the vault already? Damn it! We need to get to that vault.
Wait. We should secure the ancestors' remains and the data just in case. If the vault can only be accessed through the biometric authentication of specific DNA, then we'll need that DNA as well.
I have disabled the Vulgus data repository for now. And I've also collected the data formatted sample of the remains.
Well, that's a relief. Can't stand it when things go according to Vulgus plans. Let's deal with these bastards quickly and get moving.
This is Alpha. Comms have been stabilized. All units return to Albion to prepare for the next operation. There isn't much time. We've confirmed the transmitted data. There's a vault where the ancestors kept the Ironheart. We can use this to our advantage. The Vulgus will need time to crack open the vault. Enzo, send the sample of the ancestors' remains received from the guide to Anais and tell her to hurry. We need to analyze the DNA and activate the biometric authentication before the Vulgus do. And to do that, we need to increase our combat forces in the field. I'll send any off-duty Descendants, rendezvous with them at the outpost, and proceed with the operation.
Jeez, why am I being called in? I thought I'd be getting some R&R. Making me work with crazies thinking they see a ghost. Nah, I've got other things to... Get to the point. I only picked up bits and pieces earlier. I didn't realize it was such an emergency. An Ironheart. Right in front of us. Whew. The place will be crawling with Corell's minions, but don't worry. I can take this opportunity to show you what an awesome Descendant I am. I'm curious what Guide's reaction will be after I carry this entire operation. Let me know, will ya? Alrighty, shall we get this show started? I'll use my incredible teleportation skills to scout all of the underground spaces.
If the Vulgus are on the verge of opening the vault, then they'll likely report to their superior, Corell.
In which case, we'll need a way to tap into their comms. Guide, check and see if there are any ally devices nearby we can use to wiretap.
There is one ally communications repeater. If I modify the code, it can be altered to enable wiretapping.
That should work. We should spread out and continue with the mission.
Last one. Take its fuse and disable the generator. Enemy reinforcements have arrived. Stay focused. Powerful enemy unit has appeared. Be careful. The enemy comms devices should be shutting down shortly. Excellent job. Has appeared. Powerful enemy unit has appeared. Be careful. The enemy comms devices should be shutting down shortly. Excellent job.
Let's meet at the Timberfall outpost. I have some information I wish to discuss. First of all, this is only a theory for now. I must review the enemy's data before I can be certain. I have some ideas on why the enemy is collecting organic matter, and I have reached a hypothetical conclusion. The most probable reason is that their DNA analysis is still incomplete, and they're looking for materials to use as part of it.
In order to extract pure DNA from something, you need a refining process to remove all the other materials mixed in.
And once refinement has been completed, you will still need to perform an amplification process. This process requires certain enzymes.
So what you're saying, Guide, is that the Vulgus are extracting the enzymes they need from the giant tree.
In a way, yes. As the giant tree has existed since the time of the ancestors, it will have accumulated a variety of organic matter. It may store materials which are difficult to find even now. The Vulgus may have predicted this. It is likely that they intend to extract all of the remaining organic matter left in the giant tree in order to find the enzymes required for amplification.
If we can seize what they extract and send it to Albion, we can expedite our research process.
I guess we have our answer then. Let's hurry. It's our turn to take something from them. Let's make them pay for messing with us.
Descendant, it seems that Gley has elected herself to be our guide this time. But I agree. Because of Gley's quick judgment and knowledge, I was able to decrease my margin of error.
I'm honored to hear that. Coming from a highly advanced AI created by the ancestors.
I must go into overclock mode in order to do everything I can to help you gain the Iron Heart.
Descendant, the Vulgus are collecting organic matter to create an enzyme that can amplify DNA. Once they've collected enough, they'll refine and move it to stop it being compromised. If you can capture the organic matter and send it to Albion, we can extract the enzyme we need. Interrupter. Are the Vulgus willing to destroy the organic matter entirely rather than let it fall into our hands? Descendant, you need to eliminate the interrupter. If the organic matter is destroyed, it'll put us in a tight spot. Descendant, the Vulgus are collecting organic matter to create an enzyme that can amplify DNA. Once they've collected enough, they'll refine and move it to stop it being compromised. If you can capture the organic matter and send it to Albion, we can extract the enzyme we need.
destroy the organic matter entirely rather than let it fall into our hands? Descendant, you need to eliminate the interrupter. If the organic matter is destroyed, it'll put us in a tight spot. Another interrupter. Excellent job, Descendant. We'll try to extract the enzyme as quickly as possible.
Hey, you! Are you slowpokes done? I almost fell asleep because you guys were taking too long. If you're done, come to the outpost. No, wait, would it be fast? What are you doing, sightseeing? This operation is a waste of time, a complete waste. You keep telling me I need to cooperate, but I think you guys are the uncooperative ones.
Jeremy, unless your receive is having issues, there is no way you didn't know we were in the middle of an operation. It's prohibited for Descendants to deactivate the receives during an operation. If you manually deactivated your receive link, I think that would make your attitude toward the operation uncooperative.
I'd watch what you're saying, Gley. I carried out my side of the operation perfectly. I scouted the entire area thoroughly. I've even confirmed that the Ancestors' ruins are in the deepest part of Vespers. How dare you question my attitude? God, I don't know why Alpha looked out for you guys so much. Maybe he feels sorry for you being possessed by the ghost or guide or whatever. If it's because he pities you, well, I guess normal me has no choice but to be understanding. I'll distract the enemy's backlines just for you pitiful lot. You can follow me and push through. You three, no, is it four? Anyway, you're all deployed, so let's cooperate and get this operation done without any mistakes. Also, I've been assigned to retrieve the Iron Heart, so don't any of you think about touching it. I'm warning you.
Gley, your anger levels are rising.
I'm doing my best to let it go.
Thanks to Keelan and Nace's swift efforts, we've been able to restore the Ancestors' DNA using the data that you've sent. Thank you for your hard work. You've all done an excellent job. The Ancestors' biometric authentication data has been coded and sent to your receipt. Guide, please activate the code when you reach the Ancestors' vault.
There is a chance that we have not yet found the Vulgus that underwent genetic modification using Arche. And we haven't confirmed whether the experiment succeeded or not. But the incident in the Sterile land has affected my simulations. Vulgus technology is advancing faster than I expected. Almost unnaturally so.
Knock, knock. Who's there? It's you, Descendant, I presume? You can't just let our equipment be, can you?
What? My Aceve channel was just switched? Enzo, there's something wrong with the Aceve channel. Enzo, respond!
It's on channel. I forced him to connect to my personal channel. You see, I'm brilliant, just like you. Now, let's play, fellow Arche wielder.
Unless there's something wrong with my ears. It sounded to me like this jerk said he has Arche abilities.
You heard me correctly, friend. You're curious about my Arche, aren't you? Let me fill you in. I injected myself with the Arche that I stole from you. Oh, the power flowing through my body. What an exhilarating experience. And you were keeping all this power for yourselves. I hated you so much that I could have killed you all in an instant.
It appears that the genetic modification we saw earlier was successful.
Now, why don't you come here and give my cold, frozen body a hug, friend?
Vulgus bastards. They weren't just researching ways to open the vault.
Now it's clear why the Order of Truth was there. To create this monstrosity. If they only wanted to retrieve the DNA, they would have sent the Legion of Immortality.
This device can force channels to change. If we destroy it, we will be able to connect to the HQ channel again.
Channel reconnection confirmed. The Aceve channel is back online. Guide, please modify this code so that the channel cannot be disconnected again.
I have established the defensive security code. Communications will not be affected in the future.
It doesn't feel too bad to have my limbs cut off like this. It almost feels like I'm dreaming. I'll send you a little present soon.
What is that? There's a strange image on the command HUD. Is that Jaber?
Vulgus don't usually dream. Oh, but thanks to the Arche serum, I dream my every moment. You can call me Jaber.
The serum that was injected into the Vulgus was from Jaber. Ironheart pulses have increased significantly. The vault must be nearby.
I'll send a signal to Jeremy. Jeremy, do you read me? Jeremy, respond. Damn. Hang on just a little longer, everyone.
It's so nice to see your face, friend. Can you call me Jaber just this once? Here I am. Payment's delay has changed our plans, but it can't be helped. In my next dream, I'll be dancing with your claws!
Oh, wow. You've completely lost it, haven't you? Listen. If you spotted the target, you should have said so. What are you doing? So this is what's gotten everybody so riled up. That's it. That's what makes us the Ironheart. It's way more impressive than what the rumors say. Hey, how long do you plan on just standing there? Go back to Albion and bring reinforcements or something. Why are you still here? Go! Just the two of us now.